make the best, the two-way point power forward build in NBA 2K24. This is my opinion, the best power forward build in this game, so let's hop right into it. Position, obviously we're going power forward. Then for the height, we're gonna go ahead and leave this at default at 6'8", and then for the wingspan, we're gonna max this out at 7'6". Higher wingspan is gonna make your defense and stuff so good. And this early into the year, we've already seen how easy it is to shoot with like a 73-point rating. So yeah, we're going max wingspan. Now for the weight, obviously we want to kind of go a little bit lower because we want to be faster, but we do not want to go too low. I'm going to go down to 221 pounds. You guys see, this is going to give us a significant jump when it comes to the speed, but at the same time, you're going to be able to get a 92 defensive rebound, which if you do not know is very significant. I'll explain why in a second. All right, we're going to go from the bottom to the top. Now the bottom is obviously going to be the physicals, and you guys can see the physicals on this build are going to be very solid, just attribute wise. And just so you guys do know, everything besides the acceleration is a very specific. For example, for the strength, I went with specifically a 73 rebound, which is able to give us silver box out beast. Speaking of box out beast, you're also able to get a 92 defensive rebound on this build, which as I said is very important because it gives you gold rebound chaser. Now your offensive rebound is only going to be a 52. I explained this in the 7'3" center build video I recorded, but from my experience playing NBA 2K, your rebounding ratings themselves do not actually matter very much, and what actually does determine whether or not you're able to get the rebound is basically just your positioning, your badges, and your height and your wingspan. Obviously our height and wingspan is going to be pretty decent. We're kind of on the shorter side, but our wingspan definitely makes up for it. And then as long as you're able to get gold rebound chaser, you definitely will be able to get boards. Now I'm not about to sit here and pretend like you're going to be outboarding 7'3" centers. That's just not going to be the case. But if you're playing 2v2 against a 7'3" center, you're definitely 100% going to get some rebounds, especially if you know how to use box out beast. Also, something else that's very important is going to be the 93 block rating. This is going to go ahead and give you gold anchor, which of course if you're making a big man build is super important. And also to get gold anchor, you also need a 77 interior defense, which is why our interior defense is at a 77. Then for a perimeter defense, we went up to an 85, which is going to give us silver clamps. And then for the steal, we went up to a 72, which is going to give us bronze glove. You guys can see, not only due to the block and rebounding ratings are you able to play a big man role on your team, but you're also able to play kind of a lockdown role on your team as well. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is not the ideal lockdown. You don't have super high steal, but when it comes to 2v2 and 3v3 and stuff, your defense is definitely going to be very crazy, and you can really guard 1 through 5. And then when it comes to 5v5 at the power forward position, you definitely will be getting your team stops. It's kind of like a secondary or tertiary lockdown build, and as well you'll also be grabbing boards and getting blocks. And then what you're also able to do that I absolutely love is dribble. You guys see, we get an 85 ball handling rating, a 75 speed with ball rating, and a 75 pass accuracy rating. Now right away you guys see you're able to get silver unpluckable, you're able to get silver handles for days, and you're able to get silver speed booster. If you guys were wondering why I went with an 81 speed, that is because this allows us to get silver speed booster. And if you guys are wondering why I went with a 93 stamina, that is because that allows us to get silver handles for days. Being able to dribble on this build right here is honestly so nice. Going back to what I was talking about before of if you're on the 2v2 court or 3v3 court and you run up against a 7'3" center. As I said, you're not going to be able to out-rebound them unless you're completely outplaying them and just boxing them out every single time. But even if you are getting out-rebound, once you get the ball, they're not stopping you. Like literally all you have to do is just call for an ISO, and that 7'3" center is not going to be able to guard you. Having a build like this that can be your big man on defense or be your lockdown on defense while also being able to ISO is so nice. This build allows me to run double ISO on the 2v2 court and triple ISO on the 3v3 court, which especially this year is so good because too many people try to make guard builds with literally no defense, and anytime you run up against one of those builds with triple or double ISO, it's gonna be a free win. I'm just being honest. Now for the shooting, as I talked about earlier, you can shoot with like a 73 point rating, and that is especially when it comes to the catch and shoot, because obviously you're able to get silver catch and shoot. Off the dribble, it is still pretty consistent. You're still able to green consistently. To be honest, I don't really shoot off dribble shots too often, but there is the occasional time when they're just like playing so low that literally all I have to do is just run forward, then do a step back, and then shoot, and then just green it, and they just end up leaving me every single time. I'm telling you guys this right now, 73 point rating is more than enough. Now, the finishing on this build is good. Now, I know you guys are looking at these ratings right here and you're like 87 driving dunk, that's not good. But I don't know what it is when it comes to just this big, strong 6'8" player, this 87 driving dunk does not feel like 87. To be honest, it's not like you're catching contact dunks every single possession. I'm not gonna say that. But what I am saying is that if you're going up against a build smaller than 6'6", they're just too small and too weak to be able to stop you, especially because they don't have anchor. They're able to abuse that matchup every single time. On the other side of the ball, you have silver clamps, so they're gonna have a tough time scoring. More often what ends up happening is you're going to be matched up against a center build. Obviously, unless they're also getting silver clamps like you are, they're not going to be able to stop you. Also, any build taller than 6 of 10 cannot get any clamps whatsoever. And even if they did get clamps, they're just going to be too slow to stop you. Like, honestly, it's so crazy. This build just absolutely takes advantage of the way people play this game. And then you guys can see somehow, some way I built a slasher. Like, did someone explain how I built a slasher, please? The names this year are definitely better than last year, but that doesn't mean they're good. I'm just being honest. One thing I'll say about this name is that it's actually kind of a good thing because they end up leaving you open because they think you're a pure slasher. And then to start off every single game, you just get a free 3-pointer. If you guys want to see another video where the name ended up being very bad, check out the 7'3" center build I posted, or just one of the other build videos on the screen right now. And with that being said, I'm out. Peace.